Hey guys, what's up? It's Heather Grant, and I'm happy to be with you today and to be talking about some essential oils that you can use for grief. And this is one of those things that all of us as human beings on this planet Earth, something that we deal with. We deal with the death of a loved one, a spouse, a child, a parent, a close friend or a relative, and it's really a hard time. It's something that we kind of have to get through and do our best to make the best of it. But there are some essential oils that can assist us as we're going through that hard time. So I wanted to share with you just some of my favorite oils for grief and for going through that process. So the very first one that is my favorite essential oil that I recommend is a blend called Console. And Console is the comforting oil. It's the comforting blend, and it's one that you can diffuse, you can put over your heart, you can have topically around your home, those types of things, to be able to use that to comfort you. So Console is my first choice. It's one that I will wear to funerals, or as I wear as I'm dealing with grief, and it just seems to be that extra support or that comfort that I need to be able to make it through that rough time. So I highly recommend Console. The other oil that maybe some of you maybe hadn't thought of, but one of the oils that I really like when I'm dealing with grief is actually Forgive. I know that sounds a little funny, but Forgive is an oil that I have found, just for me personally, that's helped me when I'm dealing with grief, because I find that when someone close to me dies, that I have a hard time with it. Sometimes I'm mad at that person for dying. I had a friend that died when I was very young, and I was mad at her for dying and leaving me here by myself. And so being able to use Forgive to be able to not have bad feelings towards my friend is something that can help. Sometimes we need to forgive God. I think sometimes we blame God for taking away our spouse or our child, and we need to forgive God occasionally, and so that's an oil that can help us to not have bad feelings towards God. Sometimes we need to forgive ourselves. I think when we have somebody close to us die, we wonder if we were, a good enough wife or a good enough husband or a good enough mother or a good enough child, or did I tell them how much I love them? We need to forgive ourselves for the things that we maybe didn't do or didn't say, or the areas in our lives where we weren't perfect. And then last but not least, sometimes we have to, and I mentioned before, forgive the person that died, but I think especially in cases of suicide and things like that, sometimes that we can have harsh feelings towards that person for taking their life or for leaving us in a mess. And so forgive is something where we really do need to forgive sometimes that person who has passed on. So 2 more oils I wanted to bring up that have helped me when I've been dealing with grief or the death of a loved one. The first one is Peace. I really love Peace blend, which is the reassuring blend, and it's just very, for me, can help me to have peace in the moment and to be in more of a place of gratitude for that person and their life and the things that they lived and accomplished. And so I really love Peace. And then the last one that has helped me that I really love is the oil Hope. And I feel like when you go through a hard time in your life, when you're experiencing a trauma, a sadness, that intense grief, that it's important for us to have that hope and to be able to see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, to know that the time that we're going through is really hard, but that it will pass. The pain isn't, ever usually going to go away completely, but that it will subside a little bit, and that there is hope to be able to have fun again, to be able to laugh again, to be able to smile again. I know when I've experienced grief, I almost feel guilt when I am happy or I have a joyful day. I feel like I should be in that perpetual sadness mode, and I feel like hope is one that can kind of get me out of that, to recognize and be grateful for that person that has passed on or that has died, but that I'm still hopeful for being able to have a happy life and to be able to be happy in the midst of sadness and trauma. So those are some essential oils that have helped me. If you are someone that you're experiencing grief, just know that my heart goes out to you. These are some essential oils that have helped me and that I hope help you. I hope that you find peace in the trauma and the things that you're dealing with. Remember to be prayerful. It seems like whenever we go through a trauma, we either get closer to God or farther away from God. And I hope that as you go through grief and trauma and sadness, that it's something that can bring you closer to God and closer to your family. You guys, love you all. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing to my channel and for following me. I appreciate all of you and all of your comments always. Bye, guys.